Cheers and enjoy the beers. Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome back once again to the channel with me, a disco coming at you from front of the cans and bottles here on the bar. I'm still screaming at calling the Disco Arms. And yes, it's another session, another few beers, some more live beer reviews. So thanks for popping in and watching, if indeed you are. Do let me know if you are and if you've got a beer on, ice cream beer or not. Yes, today is Ice Cream Sunday. Just see what I did there. You know, I like a terrible pun because these things amuse me. So I did this a few weeks ago on a live show 99. I've stopped numbering shows now because I wanted to do a specific one for 100. It didn't really work out. And then I realized that numbering the shows doesn't really matter. But show 99 was Ice Cream Sunday, of course. And after that, I saw a few other ice cream beers and thought I'll do that again one Sunday and never quite got around to it. At the back end of the summer, we are well and truly out of the summer now. Clocks have gone mental. I can't remember what it is, forwards or backwards. I don't bother changing my clocks anymore. Actually, I did just do the one in the kitchen because it's all digital. It does it all for you now. So I'll never know whether the clocks go here or there. What I do still know is I still like a beer now and again. So I thought I'd have a little Sunday session with you if anyone's popping in. I know it's a bit late and a bit of a silly day to do Sunday. I don't know if everybody else has got to be up on a Monday morning. I haven't. So this is effectively my weekend, even though I had today off as well today. Had today off and still went up the brewery for a pizza and a few cups of tea and eventually a couple of pints because we're Sunday, innit? Has to be done. So yeah, got some beers lined up with a ice cream theme is the general thing. So with that in mind, let's get on to the first one. Beer number one, please. So rotating it because it's all the way around there. Yeah, from Overtone in Scotland, all up in Glasgow. I had one or two of theirs before, but this is a 5.5%. It's called Sonder. It's a 5.5% Guava ice cream sour. Now, I was just thinking, I was putting the reviews up from last week. I had a beer with Guava in it. I struggled a little bit. So I'll put this one up first as the lightest of the three. So we'll find out a bit more about Guava in this one, hopefully, because I'm sure I like Guava, but I'm not entirely sure. Overtone, pretty well known for doing some big IPAs, possibly some big sours, and I'm wondering, if I've messed that up. Have I messed it up and I meant to roll it or some shit? I didn't learn from the last time I did that. No, it doesn't say so. There's no like give it a roll or upend it or anything. So yeah, there's quite a lot of guava kind of puree coming out of there, looks like. Or is it yeast? I'm not entirely sure about that. Bit of carbonation, there's a bit of sparkle going on there. Ended up pouring it all out, forgot to do the can photo. That is a proper murky kind of, ice cream slushy, but it's a kind of pinkish brown. Looks weird. Initial head development has completely faded. So I'm not 100% sure about it. It's like a pinky peachy brown. As always, let's do the photograph. Even though I forgot to do the can balance. And also with the can balance, you leave a little bit in the can. So it means I can pop a bit more in after the event and give it a bit of more of a fluffier head. So that hasn't worked. Actually, no head development on this one. And I'm not really sure about that kind of murky, pinky brown kind of colour. Cat's in tonight. Again, dive straight onto the nice warm chair. She thinks it's hers. Newsflash, kiddie, it's not. We'll be getting up again in a minute. Bless her. Yeah, I don't know. What would you describe that colour as of that beer? It's kind of hard to tell on the screen, I guess. But it's a sort of murky, pinky brown. A bit orange on screen on the camera. That can is not easy to photograph in this light. A sort of very light yellow on a lime green background. Bit of a pain, but we shall persevere. Oh, if I pushed it down too far and cut yours off. If you're still there. I think that's better. Got the overtone in there a bit better now. Yeah, see in the photograph, much darker kind of orange colour. But it's definitely a very pale, milky, quite terracotta. Oh no, terracotta's, yeah, terracotta's that. But yeah, very odd, milky kind of brown. I'm not sure this is going to be great. Sorry, kitty cat. Hey, you've got a cushion over there to go and sit on for that sort of thing. So do that there. Good girl. I'm sitting here. Yes, I know. Stay. Good girl. Yeah, so there we go. A very odd beer to begin with. One of those that, yeah, doesn't look like beer. What you doing, Daft Kit? Yeah, let's have a sniff. Oh no, there's definitely fruitiness. Nothing wrong with the aroma. There does feel a little bit of like peach going on, a little peach and cream, a little bit of peach melba. I'm still not sure about guava, whether I like it or exactly what the flavour is particularly. I can't even picture a guava, what it looks like, to be fair. But let's get into this and see what it is. Cheers. Well, actually, it tastes way, way better than it looks. Yeah, I'm still getting kind of peach melba off it as well, which is kind of odd. Very, very, very unbeer-like. Can't really get any of that carbonation. It is super smooth. It's a bit like, do you remember strawberry mivies? Everyone remembers strawberry mivies. That kind of outside of the sorbet kind of thing. But there's also a bit of that inner mivy ice cream thing going on there. Very, very odd. Not entirely unpleasant by any means. It's just odd as a beer, and I kind of knew it probably would be. Not out and out massive sour like last week's. Was it last week? Oh yeah, here's Johnny from Brew York, cherry and guava. So say this one comes up more peach for me, but it's just says guava. Not out and out sour. That one was outstandingly sour. This was kind of mid to low sour. It's more sort of tart fruit kind of, especially from the peach, that kind of peachy tartness. Not unpleasant, really, really fruity. Got a nice sort of creamy feel. Not quite custard, but certainly creamy. Without actually tasting particularly like ice cream. It hasn't got the sweetness for ice cream. Even in and around that kind of guava fruit note and the peach note. Yeah, nice and cold, supremely drinkable, proper refreshing. I say even with that sourness. Let's have a look, see what they say on the can. It's on the guava ice cream sour. This tropical sour is brewed with guava puree and is named after a song by Scottish musician Barry Can't Swim. Great name. It has a perfect balance of sweet and tangy flavours, with vanilla ice cream enhancing its smooth finish. Has it actually got vanilla ice cream in there? Well, in the ingredients, it just says lactose. It doesn't even say guava puree in the ingredients. Weirdly. Yeah, it just says lactose. Yeah, 5.5%. I thought initially it was going to be a date problem. I thought it was going to be a bit off, but very clearly isn't from the freshness of the fruit going in there. Can't see the date, but I think it says 26. I think we're good. Okay, so it's all the way back from January. So best before 20th of January 2026. So yeah, no problems with that. It is meant to be that odd milky kind of colour. I guess no surprise. I think the colour is also affecting my assessment of peach, really. It's got some volume to that body. A combination of kind of fruit sorbet and ice cream. It's just a really odd colour, much darker off the camera. Really kind of peachy, kind of orangey, peachy, milky look. But yeah, really nice on the taste, to be honest. Like I say, not massively sour, just tart fruit. That kind of peach, not even going towards the bitterness of kind of peach stone fruit, that kind of thing, but it feels like a bit of salinity on there weirdly too, but it's not a ghost, so I'm not sure where that's coming from. I've just had dinner an hour ago, so maybe there's still a bit of salinity around my mouth, even though I washed it out with water before I started. But yeah, do let me know in the comments what you think about this one. This is a weird one for me. I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's not that weird as to be bad, even though I thought from that colour it might be. But a really nicely slurpable ice cream sour. If you'd said a fruit ice cream pale ale, I wouldn't have been any less surprised because there's no out and out mouth puckering sourness to it. It's gentle. It's nice. It's a bit comforting, There's a little bit of that kind of juices down the bottom of a bowl of crumble. After the event, maybe a little bit of custard thrown in. Odd, but clearly not the most oddest. Say, really nice fruit flavour. And just something a bit different, really. I've seen a fair amount of big beers come out of Overtone. I say up in Glasgow. I really want to check that artist out now. Barry Can't Swim, but so we're not doing music on this channel. I still don't understand that. I won't go and play any Barry Can't Swim unless I've checked it out. And I still won't on stream. But yeah, all the beers I've had from Overtone have been fairly decent, but I don't really gravitate towards them. I do tend to swerve them a little bit with some big hop heavy IPAs and dippers coming out of there. Greetings, Mark. How you doing? Happy to have a Sunday evening. Hope you've had a good weekend and maybe got a beer on, perhaps. A little bit impromptu stream, chucking some ice cream beers together, being it's ice cream Sunday. Well, it isn't, but it is now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, let us know if you've got something in your glass. Have a little Sunday session, a little Sunday sup, so to speak. I didn't see anybody else doing anything live tonight, and I'm probably anyone daft enough to do a big beer session on a Sunday night because, kind of off tomorrow. So it looks as weird as Plymouth in the Prem. Well, yeah, you're more likely to get your head around this beer than Plymouth anywhere near the Prem anytime soon. At least we managed not to lose yesterday. Quite pleased with that, on account of not actually bloody playing till Tuesday night. We'll see what happens then, eh? Might do some more beers on Tuesday night pre-stream, another early one. See if there's any about for that. But yeah, it is weird. Such a weird colour, and so kind of unbeer-like. It's definitely more milkshake than anything. And However, really swiggable. There is a difficult balance between that fruit and that milk note. Not quite on the verge of curdling, even with that kind of sour note, but the lactose in there kind of balances it out, makes it a nice sour. It's not massively sour. Kirkstall Virtuous, jolly good, solid beer for a Sunday night. Twisted Fairy, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. About to watch a film. I fit that like. Very good, very good. Thank you very much indeed. Have a good night. Enjoy the film, Twisted. Enjoy what's left of the weekend and have a great week. Catch you next time. Cheers for that. Kirkstall. Solid bit of Kirkstall. I've still got a Kirkstall beer in. I've got to do a big Imperial Stout. Don't know when I'm going to fit that in. But yeah, good solid Yorkshire beer. No Yorkshire beer today. A large amount of my beer stash involves beer from Yorkshire. Still a little bit of up north stuff going on. Well, I guess starting with the furthest north. I think I'm going south on this one. I mean, I've been going south for years, Mark, as you're probably likely to say. But I'm starting way up north of the border in Scotland, and I think I'm coming geographically south whilst going up the ABV. Hey, up the ABV. Because these things amuse me. I like this sort of thing. It's your birthday, is it, Twisted? Happy birthday, it is. Fair play. Exactly. All good, sir. All good. I tell you what, it must be easy drinking because I first smashed it down. You know what I mean? 5-10 minutes of yapper and 10 minutes of just smashing a beer. I don't know if this one's still available, so I probably had it sitting there a couple of months when I first envisioned this one. It's ice cream Sunday kind of theme, way back at the end of the summer, I think sometime in August. And then I did that one for show 99, beginning of September. And I never got to do another one for one way or the other, work. And that little kind of slight hiatus I had at the start of September. 3-day birthday. Fair play. Well, why not? If you can, you can. There's quite a lot of what would actually normally be lacing on the glass, but it seems just more like kind of fruit puree or pulp, kind of whatever the remnants of fruit puree is called. It's kind of fruit lacing in a way. It's not too bad, but can't get that head development going again. Don't know how much you swirl it. It's just kind of milky kind of residue. But that said, it's one I do tend to start on the Stout. Oh, excuse me. Oh, fog in the throat. Well, I've just ingested some fruit flies with all that. I do tend to start with sours. I've started with it today because it's the lower ABV and I'm going to work up. But if I'm like on a session, like at a bar or whatever, I will often put a sour in the middle because it kind of refreshes the palate. Little vitamin C hit, gives you a little bit of a pep before you get onto the bigger stuff. When I do these reviews, I do tend to start with a sour because I like going up the lightness, colour palette lightness scale before I get to a stout. In the middle of a session, after this would work nicely for me. Quite invigorating, quite refreshing, that juicy, that fruitiness. Like no hint of like bitterness, particularly tartness, not bitterness. It's an example of the difference. But yeah, a jolly solid beer that doesn't really look like a beer for me. Weird colour. Don't know if I like it. That kind of orangey, peachy brown. But as I say, great aroma. I guess a fair amount of fruit's gone into that brew. And yeah, proper smashable. Nice one from Overtone. I've looked at the Overtone website before, so I'm not getting it tonight because I might see more beers I want to buy, which isn't a bad thing, but I shouldn't be doing that. I'll have a look. I might have a look at Overtone on Trembling Madness this week, because there's still more stuff on Trembling coming out this week that I might end up buying. Mr. Wilson, good evening to you. Thanks for popping in on a late Sunday session. Just finishing off this one. Just recapping this Overtone Sonder 5.5% Guava Sour, proper fruity, bit of peachness going on, I think. I'm still not sure what guava actually tastes like. But this beer, despite not really looking like a beer in that kind of off brown, orange, peachy, milky looking, it looks like a mess. And when I first poured it, I thought it was some offness going on, but proper fresh halfway through the year. Is it awful? I don't know. If you had that in like your bathroom, it'd be a kind of pastel kind of shade that you could get away with, but it's dangerously close to brown. Great aroma on it. Lovely, again, like kind of peach melba thing going on with I guess a bit of guava. But yeah, drinkability on that is fantastic. I fair smashed it down. I can take big gulps of that. It's not too tart, not too sour, not too way out there. Nicely balanced with the lactose. And as sours go, I'm not a massive fan, but as sours go, despite the colour, proper decent, I think. I've no problem dispatching it, unlike the other last week at Brew York. I struggled a bit with that. In fact, I stopped 3/4 of the way through, cuvée it with the next one, and then still after the event, struggled after the stream to get that one down a little bit. It was so palate smackingly tart. Definite palate cleanser required on that one. As I say, that kind of a lovely colour, but difficult to photograph. I'm going to piss the cat off again now because she's crawled up on the lap. Let's dive straight into a beer number 2, please. Change the banner. Beer number 2 comes from, I believe, Wigan. Let's have a look up this, because I don't think I've had a State of Kind beer before. This is one of 2 I've currently got in. This one is called Ice Cream Van Shenanigans. Not quite sure what ice cream van shenanigans actually are, to be fair. Is that shenanigans in an ice cream van or outside? I don't know. So I sort of picked it up for the name because I was, it's not an ice cream beer, unlike the other 2, certainly unlike that one. It's just a double dry hopped IPA. But I thought, do I want 3 ice cream beers if they're super sweet or whatever? I thought I'd put something else in just because of the theme. I want to have a look at State of Kind anyway, because I've seen a few of their cans about. Let's get into a glass and have a look, see what we find. I want to have a look at the website on this one, see what else they do. See what we got here. Well, it pours really light into the glass, but great head development. There's a lot of citrusy grapefruit kind of colours going on there. And as Mr. Wilson reminds me, gonna have to move your kitty. Sorry, darling. I did suggest you go and sit over there in the first place. So stay there. Good girl. Good girl. Right, can balance. See if we can do that. Because these things amuse me. Thought we had it there for a second. Yes, we've got it there. Lovely. Oh, good can balance. Kind of amusement. I don't think I'm going to get the... Let's put it down a bit there because it's a bit bright. Yeah, so it looks all right in a glass. Much more beer-like this one. A good, kind of fairly fluffy, quite large bubbles in that head development. But it's not bad. I was like, again, it's going to be proper juicy and fruity notes going on. Yeah, got the can balance. Have I plugged everything in? Got to check because I know I'm a little short on the juice on the phone. Oh, bear me. stop that from balancing before I move that. Everything falls down. Good on Kitty. She's proper tired, so she's staying asleep. Here we go. Let's get the rest of that into the glass. Refresh that head. Oh, see that go up there? Lots of sherbety kind of notes. I say sherbety before I've even smelt it or drunk it, but it looks like that kind of sherbety colour. Is this real disco or AI? I don't think AI would get a human face this wrong. Self-depreciation. There you go. Yeah, definitely not AI. I can pronounce things properly for a start. Have you seen some of the AI? She never gets words right. Right, yeah. So, State of Kind Bruco Ice Cream Van Shenanigans. 5.6% double dry opt IPA. Let's see what we get. Cheers. Oh, yeah, that smells like a proper beer. Smells like a proper IPA. You got the slightly hoppy notes, lots of fruitiness. Yeah, good evening, by the way, Joey. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. Having a great Sunday. Yeah, it kind of looks more like a beer. Smells more like what we all know a beer to be. Still a beer. Gone through the same process. I don't have much truck with all that. Oh, beer's got a taste like a beer. Yeah, it's still a beer. It's gone through the brewing process. But yeah, it smells like the sort of beer I'm not quite going to enjoy. There's not grapefruit notes on it, so it might be okay, but it's definitely that kind of fruitiness, that kind of hoppiness going on. Fairly indistinct fruitiness. It's that kind of vague tropicality from probably all the usual hops. That doesn't make it bad, by the way. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's kind of probably no different to a lot of all the other IPAs out there. But had a little panic there. Just had a little wobble. Thanks, O2. You get me data sorted, please. Right, yeah. So I think I'm back in the room now. But yeah, it looks much better. A nice kind of orange juicy note. Some people have a problem with that, but yeah, a nice sort of sherbety bubbly head. Smells the business. Smells like an IPA. Got some fruitiness going to, and not too much hoppiness. Cheers. Yeah. Definitely really summery. That ice cream van thing denoting the summer. It's got that juiciness. It's got a bit of mango. Got a bit of pineapple. And it's got very little grapefruit from me, which, as you know, is good. It's good for my palate. Let's go again. Very much less so for a cold end of October day. It's very much more August kind of beer. It has been in the fridge all day, so it's proper cold. But yeah, it's a proper juicy boy. As I say, slightly indistinct fruit. I'm sort of picking up bits of all those kind of fruits with that kind of tropicality. I'm gonna guess, and I genuinely haven't looked at this one. I'm gonna guess there's some New Zealand hops in there because it's got that kind of fruity tropicality about it rather than heavily grapefruit. I suspect Motueka, maybe. It's going to be Motueka, Citra, and something else, I think. Raka, maybe, but yeah, it does feel slightly more American than New Zealand hops, though. So I don't know what it is. Let's test that theory. You're going to have to believe me. I've not actually looked at the can because I don't generally. Blimey, here we go. Well, right. So hops, the Bruce. Never heard of it. Let me know if you know where the Bruce comes from or what the Bruce hop. I've never heard of that as a hop name even. Motueka. So I think I'm fairly happy with that, getting that right. Amplifier, or is that Motueka amplifier? So amplified Motueka, I think. Citra and Citra 702, whatever that is. So some kind of amplified hop notes going on. 10 pence for every can we sell goes direct to charity. Fair play in today's tight margins. That's no means feat. Best before 1st of the 2nd 2026. As I say, only picked this up fairly recently. So as a first look at State of Kind, it's a great shout really for a jolly decent IPA. Got all the right notes, some good aromas, really good mouthfeel of that kind of slightly orange juicy note. There is a little bit of sherbet in there, there's a little bit of kind of, I don't know, I think it's the oats, it's the smoothness from the oats, I guess, that's coming with that kind of slight milkiness, slight ice cream note. Oats. Hops fade fast, drink fresh, store cold. Well, I've done the store cold, but it is fairly fresh. Some other notes they've got to say. This world can be a crazy place. Amen. But remember, better is always possible. Together we make the difference, stand up for what's right, help each other, lift up our communities, and above all, don't be a dick. Just be kind. Wise words, State of Kind. Fair play. And they are they're in Wigan, which is actually Greater Manchester. I was thinking Wigan is Lancashire, but it is Greater Manchester. Oh, am I in? Does that mean these comments still loading and none of you can hear me, or am I still here after that little blip? Do let me know, because we worry about that kind of thing. Mr. Wilson, also let me know if you're having a little Sunday night tipple, what you've got in your glass. As you can see, quality of the pint, nice lacing on the glass, giving it a fair amount of good condition, I think, in that, I would say. Oh, nice one, Mr. Wilson. Thanks for confirming. Bruce gives citrus, lime, mango, and apricot. Appears to be a blend of 3 hops. Good stuff. Saves me looking it up, actually. I'm generally interested in sort of hops I've never heard of. I don't mind putting my hand up and go, I don't know about them. Citrus, lime, mango, and apricot. I mean, that works pretty well with a Mochuaca, I guess. Not really. I guess that kind of, it's hints of mango, I'm saying. I'm not saying out and out mango particularly. I guess apricot, but it's no, for me anyway, again, probably my underdeveloped palate, there's no specific fruit in there. It's just sort of hints of, notes of that tropicality, that maybe mango, maybe pineapple, and yet still a slight kind of orange juice thing without actually specifically tasting of orange. Maybe that's the apricot, perhaps. Don't get a lot of citrus, particularly aside from that slight orange outer edge. Not really any lime. There is a slight tanginess to it, but as I say, it's balanced by that kind of oaty milkiness that kind of gives it a kind of slight milkshake, kind of fruit milkshake kind of thing. But really nice. Very little citrus, definitely not grapefruit. Much more tropicality than that, even with all that citra in there, which is good. Whiskey today, classic laddie. Good on you, fair play. Never really got into the whiskey myself. Let's have a quick look, especially as it's a new brewery, because I like to. Let's hope this doesn't ruin the stream, because I feel it has in the past, but we got away with it last time, I think. Let's have a quick look at the State of Kind website. See what we can find on there. State of Kind, there we go. Yes, I am old enough. So, making the world better one beer at a time. I mean, these things are easy to say, but it does, you got to take it their word for it. State of Kind launched in 2021. Players, you imagine it's taken a fair bit of planning. And yes, you're right. We basically started a brewery in the middle of a global pandemic. Well, we all had something to do, didn't we? Had to have something to do. This wasn't quite as crazy as it sounds, but it wasn't as easy either. In a funny way, it's ideal. Well, yeah, if you've got the right circumstance, it could work. And clearly it has. In a funny way, it's ideal. If we could make it work, then we can make it work anytime, whatever the world throws at us. Well, you'd hope. There's a few that haven't. Our state-of-the-art brewery and tap room is based in the heart of the northwest, Wigan to be precise, home of the Wigan kebab pie, fancy dress on Boxing Day, and the country's only landlocked pier. Nominal. It's not actually a pier as such, but it's a dock. But yeah, I have been to Wigan Pier. We are going from strength to strength. We are brewing amazing beer, and our tap room is ready to welcome you anytime. So why don't you pop in for a pint and say hello? Well, the reason I don't at the moment is I'm not travelling to Wigan or anywhere for that matter. But I have been to Wigan. Fantastic little beer shop just underneath the station at Wigan Central. Will no doubt stock some State of Kind. So you have got a web shop. Let's have a quick look at that. Oh, hello. Immediately drawn to that Granny's Apple Crumble Sour. It's basically just apple sours in a beer, isn't it? Kidnapped by Sasquatch. So I'm thinking a fair amount of kind of IPA. Not the only one Sasquatch is the only one actually available. I've seen, like I say, I got this one from Trembling Madness. I've seen their stuff about a lot. Don't know where they get out in pints as such. A bit worrying when breweries don't have a lot on their website, having sort of launched and been around quite a lot. But I guess that means that the beer's all gone out. Hopefully, I'll be making some more soon. On a mission to make some amazing beers, but there's no reason why we can't help some great causes along the way. Our belief is that we can all do great things to make this world a better place. So a proportion of our profits will go directly to funding just that. Okay, not just one particular charity. Lots of different ones accordingly. Let's have a look. Merch? No, all items. No, just got beer. And not much of it. But fair play. Looks solid. Looks good. And on this show, I have got one other in the staff. I've got one called Discombobulated, which isn't going to be part of the disco collection. It's got disco in the word because my game, my rules. But I bought it anyway just in case. I thought it'd be kind of fun to have a look. And it was basically a make weight in a Trembling Madness order, I think. Hey up, Jamie. How you doing, sir? How you doing? Hope you're having a good weekend. Up north. Got a lot of up north beers today. Hope you had a good weekend anyway. Let us know if you've got a sup in your glass. A cheeky little Sunday session. I am because I have to get up in the morning. I do. I've got loads of stuff to do, not necessarily work related. Although I've got to start writing next month's quiz. But yeah, in the meantime, some decent beers, and that is a decent beer. That's got reinvigorated head, nice lacing. Just a coffee, fair play. No, probably is a bit late on a Sunday, you know what I mean? But like I say, not having to go to work for me. Tomorrow, thought I'd get some beers down, get some out of the stash, and these have been sitting there for a little bit too long. I plan to do this in the summer and just sort of run out of time, talent, and never really got around to it. So I thought, well, I've been off today. I've been relaxing a little bit. Did have a couple of pints at the brewery this afternoon because it's my day off. Where else am I going to go for a beer? I've got loads of places to go. But yeah, I just nipped up there for a couple of hours. A pizza and a pint, nice little Sunday afternoon, relaxing. It was fairly quiet, a little bit cold. But I had good beer, so it was all right. Smashed down some dark lager. So we've got new dark lager out. like a dark beer, so a dark lager. Fitted right in. It was kind of warming in a way, so I was happy with that. I've got a lot of dark lagers in, so at some point I'm going to do a dark lager stream and/or dark lager video. But time, talent, etc. We'll see when we actually get around to that. But yeah, hope you're all having a good. I've had a good weekend. Nearly time for the end. Oh, that's some good beers. Sam Benham coffee got me up at 3:30 in the morning. No such time exists on a Monday, Jamie, but someone's got to do it, and I'm glad it's you, not me. All the best. You enjoy. I mean, there are certain perks to getting up at stupid o'clock in the morning. A little bit less traffic on the roads and a little bit of peace and tranquility, maybe. But yeah, you've got to look at the positives, haven't you? Dave was a Salem Dark Fruits Porter in the spoons earlier. Solid beer, creamy and fruity. Salem is sort of the craft arm of Bateman's up in Lincolnshire, and I'm fairly certain I've had their Dark Fruits Porter probably in Wetherspoons at some point. I don't remember it, but yeah, as you say, a solid beer, creamy and fruity. I'm sure that's there. I'm sure that's how I remember it. I'm sure I've had a pint somewhere along the line. But yeah. Never did get to Wetherspoons recently for any of the beer festival beers, sadly. I keep looking at it every time I go past and just never have time to stop. Maybe this week, eh? Yeah, not so much more to say about State of Kind, but some really good stuff there in this beer. Definitely kind of reminiscent of a good summer kind of fruity, juicy IPA. I say for double dry hopped, it's not massively hoppy, apart from those fruit notes. So fair play to State of Kind for doing that. Kind of makes me think I'll try some others and hope they're not equally hoppy, Oh, a bit of carbo in that, so nice fruity burps coming on the back end there. Pay good money for me. I'm on 23 an hour. Fair play, yeah. I've got a joke about that. I'm not going to do that. Roofing joke. Gary Delaney. Yeah, fair play. And if you have to get up that early in the morning, it's basically horses for courses. There are people that can do that. I'm just not one of them people. I could do it maybe once a week if I had to. I did have to once or twice in the brewery get up and start at like 8, 9 o'clock. But yeah, I'm not a morning person. And if I was have to get up at 3:30, I'd definitely not be drinking coffee or beer or even awake at this time. I think I want to be in bed much earlier to get a good 6-7 hours sleep in. 6 hours sleep minimum for me so I can function in the morning. But yeah, horses for courses, fair play to you, grafting away in a different way. Yeah. Enjoy a beer around about tea time. I would say I enjoyed that beer. Like I say, even though, I say kind of indistinct fruit notes, I would say it's quite a smashable kind of hazy boy, juicy boy. Jolly good drink, to be fair. So I'm going to bosh that one down and move right on up the scale. And it's a big old leap. So much so that it's twice as much as both of these. Cheers. It's both of them adding together and a bit more. I know it's not how ABV works, but these things amuse me. Yeah, so State of Kind. Ice cream van shenanigans. Still don't know what ice cream van shenanigans are. Never had any shenanigans in an ice cream van. But a jolly solid beer. So let's move on to A beer number 3, please. A big beer to finish on a Sunday. Slightly unhinged. It's from Pentrich, a brewery I've had very little from. I've seen them about a lot, and I've been meaning to in the last 5 years get onto them. I've only had a couple of their beers. This one is called Where Shells Fell. I keep getting the name of this one wrong. It's a 12%, by the way. 12% pistachio ice cream Imperial Stout. Now, pistachio is very on trend and big at the moment. That's not why I bought it. It's just, yeah, it fell into the ice cream sour. So let's get it into a glass and see how big it is. Not too explosive on the opening for a big beer. So getting the bowl glass ready, as I do with Impy Stouts tend to be. A little bit of oil going on there. Still sort of thin and see-through, but that head development. I'm probably... Am I going to do it? Do I do the can balance on this one? Just in case, and it all goes south, I don't want to spill a 12% beer all over the gaff. But I think I've nosed it anyway. It's not enough to photograph as it is. Oh, I might have got it. Go on then, let's go for that whilst we're here. Oh, be careful. Yeah, photo reminder. Screen away, move it out of the way. Yeah, nice little balance on that one. I'm quite pleased with that as it happens. Yeah, it looks good in the glass, you know. It's an Imperial Stout, so it's going to be dark and inviting. But also, sometimes you have that thing with Imperial Stouts that, as good as they sound, you end up having quite a thin head that doesn't stay, dissipates quickly, and that's not true on this one. That's stayed. So I like to see that, and of course I've got a little bit more in the can to invigorate that head and get it back. So how long it stays once we start drinking, of course. But yeah, there we go. Thanks as always for the reminders, Mr. Wilson. Top job, top job. You had third beer on tap from the keg last weekend. I'm guessing a third of it. They do great pails, drank a lot of their beers as the local bar has them a lot. So Pentrich, up in, I think it's Cheshire, aren't they? Somewhere. Again, the Cheshire beer scene has been developing recently quite heavily. There's a lot of good stuff around there, but I'm not quite sure where Pentrich are. We'll find out in a minute. But yeah, as Imperial Stouts go, absolutely look the part. I think I mainly bought it because I see the can. I picked it up. Actually, picked it up from a well, not too localish over in Ealing, micro pub who does a few can sales, but they don't have a heavy can sales. But she does like occasionally getting in some mad Imperial Stouts like this, which means they cost a bit. This one was pricey. Not going to disclose what, because we never argue the price is the price. Just pay it. Don't worry about it. Either drink the beer or not. But because she's a small micro pub, it's going to be costly because she's got to put a bit of markup on it. I've seen it a couple of quid cheaper elsewhere. No complaints. Want to support local stuff like that. So yeah, Pistachio is a funny one. It's been like in the news a lot with that Dubai chocolate malarkey. So I did look forward to this one. So yeah, I picked up a festival on a rooftop in Brentford, in a car park in Brentford. We did a little festival where we poured some beers, and the Dodo is the micro pub. They poured some beers as well, and it was a lovely summer's day. Meant to get a video out, still haven't. So I'm going to do this beer anyway. And I've got a beer that I drank at that festival to do. Hope to try and get that out this week if I can. But yeah, let's have a little sniff. Yeah, can't get too much. The nose is blocked again. Bear with. Bless the kitty, she's gone straight to sleep. Must have been a tiring day of sleeping, just trying to stay out the rain and eating. Bless her. Right, yeah, so let's try that again. No, still not too much on the aroma. Let me know what you got. They've enjoyed too much, but didn't get much pistachio. I think pistachio can be funny, unless you're actually one of them, a bit like coconut. Unless you're actually eating a pistachio, it's very difficult to come through. But let's have a look. Big beer, 12% for a Sunday night, but never stopped me before. Cheers. Oops. Still a little bit of fruit, but hey. Cheers. Nice and kind of oily thick on the first mouthfeel. A jolly solid Imperial Stout. Don't get a lot of spirity edge for a 12%. It's kind of, it's there, but it's kind of, it's just kind of weird. There's a kind of earthiness to it. That's somewhere between licking straight coffee out of the jar and kind of coconut husk. Or maybe, just the pistachio shells. I don't know. A bit of licorice in there as well. Some really kind of dry, bitter chocolate notes. There's not a lot of coffee. Your whiskey is 50%. Doesn't matter much after that, does it? Fair play. Well, there's that beer to talk about in there, but yeah. Okay, so I'm not wrong with the licorice. Fair play. I'm not a big. I've never liked licorice. Licorice, all sorts. I would eat the coconut bit and not really bother with the middle. And I never liked the one with bubbles on. So yeah, I've never been a big fan of licorice. Sometimes it works in a beer, but it's that kind of slightly earthy sort of edge and there's a little bit of savouriness in there as well. And it's kind of quite literally Marmite. It feels like a Marmite beer, as in almost tasting like Marmite. I'm not a big fan of Marmite either. Nice sweetness. Oh, there comes a little bit of spirit. But oddly, it's white. It's vodka-y, spirity edge. Like it's been barrel aged in a vodka barrel, if such a thing exists. I want, from my Imperial Stouts, I want rum. I want whiskey. Bourbon. For me, this is really bad when I'm talking about a beer of this price. We're talking somewhere around 10 quid, depending where you buy it from. But it's not disappointing, because maybe it's only disappointing because I was looking forward to so much more. I was looking for some kind of big pistachio note, and I don't feel let down because, don't worry about the price. I took the gamble. It looked interesting. So that licorice note kind of doesn't detract in a way. But it's a good beer. Again, don't get me wrong. It's nicely put together. It's just a bit odd for me. We started on an odd beer that didn't really taste like beer, but I was happy with that oddness. This one for me, I know what it is. Yeah, there's a bit of salinity there. Like, I always find pistachio slightly salty, so it is there, but it also strays into some kind of herby kind of note, I think. And I'm not sure I quite like it, but there's a lot more salinity. The salinity of pistachio, a slight earthiness of that, Yeah, when you get a pistachio, take it out of the shell and there's that little crusty bit. It tastes like that rather than the actual nut. There's no real nuttiness. And for me, pistachio is mostly about salinity and slight nuttiness. So yeah, the beer is good. I'm not sure I like that licorice and that kind of huskiness. Yay, short stout, long time no see. Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it? Talking of which, yes, I forgot to say, of course, had a great stream last night. Absolute chaos, of course, but yeah, Sammy was on Short and Stout. Please go like and subscribe to Sammy's channel. Yeah, he was on. Got a beer all the way over to Australia from Hackney Church. So I was on a stream last night with that pineapple Weizenbock from Hackney Church. I could do two with Simo Sups, and of course Paul and Michelle from Rate My Beer, who actually helped produce the beer with Hackney Church, and also Simon at Real Ale Craft Beer. I had one left, so I said, yeah, of course I'll jump on. I had a bit of time yesterday. Late on, and for Sammy, it was stupid o'clock in the morning. So fair play to you. Really enjoyed the beer again. Second time I've done it on a live stream. Didn't post about it today, but yeah, it was a chaotic but fairly fun stream. I managed to get some word in edgeways, between Sammy, Simo, and Paul. I enjoyed the exit. did a big exit, big exit plan. But yeah, cheers, Sammy, for doing that stupid o'clock in the morning. And yeah, let's sort out the other stupid o'clock in the morning for me. Stupid o'clock in the afternoon, lunchtime beers, if we can this week, or any other week, really, to be fair. Like I say, Monday and Tuesday I'm off, so either of those days probably best. I am working. Yeah, I'm working the rest of the week, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. So I won't have much time to do lunchtime drinking apart from Monday and Tuesday, but we can sort that out because it must be earlier in the morning. Because you said, yeah, you're working mornings, so I don't know. Have you just finished? If you just finished now, that'd be fine. I'll do midday thing. That could work. I'm in no rush to do it. But yeah, just finishing a Sunday evening session on a casual 12% Imperial Stout from Pentrich, where shells fell. I guess that's pistachio shells. Yeah, that savouriness, that salinity. Salinity's all right, but that kind of odd savouriness. For a 12% stout, I spent quite a lot of money on. And I'm not getting any ice cream. That's the thing. It'll work now. Fair play. Productivity. Yeah, I'm not really getting ice cream. I don't know what the ice cream is about because it's overawed by the 12% and that kind of slightly savoury pistachio notes. There's not a lot of ice cream in it for me. It just occurred to me that. Yeah, barley oats, lactose hops and yeast. Doesn't say what hops. Oh, Pentrich is Derbyshire. I thought they were Cheshire. My bad. I'll have to change that. But there you go. Best before 23rd of July, 2027. I could have waited with this one, but yeah, I wanted to get it out on a Sunday as soon as possible. Pistachio and vanilla. Well, I never get vanilla. Yeah, so not much more information on it. I say quite like the can art with a green on the black. Yeah, the more I think about it, is more and more pistachio notes going on, if only for the salinity and slight kind of earthiness. But yeah, and there is that kind of slight dark chocolate note, that slightly bitter dark chocolate note in the background, but it's not out and out chocolate. A coffee, and I'm not sure. I like pistachios. I will often go and munch up a bag of pistachios, pricey that they are, but and frustratingly messy that they are. But yeah, I'm not sure that's quite Pistachio ice cream. 12% will do for you. Yeah, I mean, it absolutely looks spot on. That the head has dissipated a bit more now, but it wouldn't take a lot for it to come back. Certainly some alcohol legs on there. I don't mind talking about that. And kind of lacing. So it says, yeah, it's superb condition of a beer. It's just that flavour is kind of odd for me. Yeah, definitely the earthiness and the slight woodiness rather than nuttiness. And the salinity of pistachios. It's all there, so I'm guessing they bunged some. I don't know. Do you think? Right. See, this is the thing, right? A little bit of detective work. It doesn't take a lot. Doesn't take a lot. How have they got this pistachio flavour? Because ingredients, and it says allergens in bold, and as far as I'm aware, nuts are a fairly massive allergy thing, right? Water, barley oats, lactose in bold, hops and yeast. No pistachio, pistachio paste, pistachio flavour. Where are they getting this kind of salinity from then? Is it just a bit of salinity and slight creaminess from the oats for the ice cream? Where's the earthiness coming from? That kind of slight licorice and yeah, I mean what obviously it's from the malt rather than so I don't think there's any pistachios in this. I'm not even sure there's any pistachio flavouring, which suggests a good bit of brewing to produce the flavour of something from something that isn't that flavour. Do you know what I mean? Is there a bit of rye? I think there might be a bit of like rye malt in there to give it that kind of. When you get like a red ale, there's that kind of earthy outer edge to it. So I think there might be a bit of rye malt. There apparently is dark rye malt you can get that I think gives that kind of slightly savoury, slightly earthy note. So I'm not sure I like that bit of it. I quite like the salinity, which is again where I think you get the licorice from, salted licorice. I remember Weird Beer did a salted licorice beer. I think it was called Dave, if I remember. And that was odd, but strangely delicious. This is odd, and that 12% covers a lot of bases. It draws you in a bit. I'm having another go. Do you know what I mean? I'm going again. I don't want to smash this. I want to keep sipping it and having a go at those flavors. But yeah, I'm not sure I like the licorice. I'm not sure I like the earthy kind of pistachio shell. Whatever the equivalent of, say, pith in a citrus fruit, orange pith, lemon pith. The equivalent in a nut is whatever the pith, that little bit around the nut when you get a pistachio, take out the shell, and there's that little bit of brown stuff that you rub off to reveal the green pistachio nut. That's what that reminds me of, along with a little bit of licorice. The salinity I like because it bounces off that sweetness. So it tastes a bit like pistachio chocolate. I don't get the ice cream. So it's going to be a difficult review to write whenever I do eventually write reviews because I'm 3 behind again. But yeah, as a 12% Imperial Stout, it's a lot of money and it's a good beer. It's just not quite sat right for me on the flavour. I say it doesn't make it a bad beer. It's just I'm not so keen on it. Again, no complaints about the price. It is what it is, whatever. I'm going to drink it. It's drinkable. I'm just not quite sure I like those underlying notes. But yeah, a coffee break. That's weird. I've got no coffee in any of these beers. Certainly no coffee in this one to go along with a coffee break. Fair play, Sammy. Thanks for popping in on your break. Work hard this afternoon. Earn your money, etc. Oh, Well carbonated this as well. So there's a lot of burps, a lot of licorice burps. Slight chocolate on the burps, slight bitter, coffee bitter chocolate going on. This is one that will probably end up taking me an hour or so. I've got some admin to do, so I'm gonna sit and gently doze probably and not do the admin, just drinking this. It's nice. It's not one to smash down, of course, at 12%, and I'm not going to try. It's good as an Impy, but doesn't match the name. I know what you mean. I think I'm getting it because of the description. Maybe I'm finding things that aren't there, but I think, yeah, like I say, it's a good beer. It's like I say, nice condition, sort of balance, but the description doesn't quite match. It's not ice cream, really. I'm not getting lots of lactose or vanilla. I'm getting pistachio. I can see the pistachio because that salinity is amplified. I say the earthy kind of outer nutty pith, and I'm slightly concerned that pistachios aren't listed in the ingredients. They've just got a pistachio flavour. Without actually saying flavour, I've got a big thing about natural flavourings. So I think, from the malt, they've reconstructed it fairly well to go pistachio, especially with that salinity. I should have got a bag of pistachios, shouldn't I, at the supermarket, and had a little crack of them. So, but yeah, a good set of beers for Ice Cream Sunday. Certainly one that's definitely ice cream-ish. One that was never meant to be ice cream-ish, only in name, but did have a slight kind of smoothie vibe going on, and one that says ice cream and doesn't really get there for me, but isn't a bad beer. So that's my Sunday session. I'm gonna take a little bit longer to have a think about this one, and I think it's finishable, but it's not one I've enjoyed. It's not the most enjoyable Impy Stout for me, but it is very interesting from a brewery I like a lot. Didn't have a look. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Let's have a quick look at their website, see what they've got to say, just in case I find something else. And then we'll finish off. Share the screen. Also, my nose is blocking up, so I'm not going to be on for too much longer. There we go. No about section, as far as I can say. So Pentrich is a place. Okay, I thought Pentrich was just some kind of like anagram type thing. But yeah, Derbyshire. I mean, Derbyshire borders Cheshire, so it's fairly close. Let's have a look in the shop then. Am I 18? What do you reckon? Am I? As far as I know. Crimes in excellent. Coconut Radio. I saw that on Trembling Burners. I was thinking about chocolate and coconut stout, but coconut I have that same problem with. It's pistachio. So not too much on there. Pale ale. Dripping in Gold. Double IPA. I'd be tempted with that one. Crime Monster. Crimes in Nectron. And some t-shirts. So yeah, not too much on there. Oh, hello. Is there a back print? No, all t-shirts should have a back print. I mean, I like the colours, but what's on the back? That's a full colour palette, isn't it? Anyway. Yeah, fair enough. So not too much from Pentrich on there. There is some other stuff on the other bottle shops. Yeah, that's a tough one. That I want to like it. It is a good beer, like I say. Lacing, the alcohol legs on it, pretty solid, 12%. But yeah, that kind of slightly rough, odd, savoury. There's a herb in there, and I can't think what it is. It's not coriander, but it's like a a slight herby note. And yeah, how they get that from not actually having pistachios in. But there you go. Do let me know what you think. Yeah, let me know what you think. If you're watching after the event, thanks to everybody in the comments, by the way. Mr. Milson, Mark, Sammy, Jamie, Square Table Degenerates. Thanks everybody for popping Interested Fairy as well. If you're watching this after the event, because some people I think do, and if you watch to this bit, do let me know in the comments. Ice cream beers, what you reckon? Let me know what you reckon about that one. The odd coloured sour. And also, please click down here, like and subscribe, because it's free at the point of dispense. And I'll be really happy. And do let me know if you do. Yeah, comment after the event, because not many people do. That means you'll get a featured comment if you do. It's a Sunday session, fairly quick, but finishing on a big beer. Hasn't quite hit the mark for me, but it's a good beer. Yeah, do let me know. I'll see you next week, possibly as early tomorrow as tomorrow if I get another stream out, because I've got a lot of beers to get through still. Yeah, so random 3 tomorrow, probably from some local-ish bottle shops. I think there might be another football stream on Tuesday with some Cornish beers because we're playing again, so I might get an early stream out if I can. Probably nothing on Wednesday because I'll be at work. I'm also work on Thursday, but I've got some plans and then we're at the weekend again. So yeah, have a great week. Cheers and enjoy the beers. And yeah, as State of Kind say, don't be a dick, just be kind. Thanks very much indeed, and enjoy the outro when I can find it. And above all, it's about the beer. So yeah, I'm just going to scroll through the entries. Yeah, cheers and enjoy the beers. I'm in Disco, a Just Disco beer review. Please get like and subscribe. Be kind to everybody, and yeah, cheers and enjoy the beers. I can't find it again, and that.